Hello and welcome to Saturday night. That's literally, it's Saturday night. This show, on the other hand, is Do All the Things. On today's impromptu, unplanned filming session, I am going to be upgrading, side grading, regrading, retrograding, grade 3, grade 4, and maybe even high school. This computer right here, which is my living room media box, because I want a game upstairs in the living room. However, I don't have the facilities or the resources to properly water cool this in that configuration, which means it's going back to being naturally aspirated. Oh boy, but stay tuned. One of the biggest problems with doing this whole YouTube thing is that you end up spending more hours than you care to admit at your computer working. And it puts you into a position that when you're not working, you don't want to be at your computer. Which means if you're in the mood for gaming, I don't want to be at that computer. I want to be able to chill upstairs in my living room, kick back on the couch with maybe, dare I say, a controller to do some gaming. After all, I've been playing a lot of Sega Genesis lately, and I've been quite enjoying it. Just kicking back on the couch with a good old-fashioned controller, just freaking, bumping some rings there, like slashing some, pots. No, that's Nintendo. Whatever. Sega gaming. But it's like maybe I'm running out of Sega titles I wanna play. Maybe I want to do some actual computer gaming. And as it stands right here, this computer, maybe, it can. But it can't. Especially, I've been dabbling with streaming, trying to see what it takes to do that. And I find myself in a position where I'm doing capture with the Sega on top of trying to record the stream and also take the capture, and like I'm using the projector feature to put it on the television. And it's not having a good time, man. It can't handle it. It can't handle it. This is but an AMD 3200G APU. It's just, there's no video card in here. And it's only 4 cores. This thing's freaking ripped. It's going 100%. And I'm not even like, I look at the VOD that I record after it, it's like, wow, that looks like hell. Like it's all choppy. Even just streaming the capture to the television is choppy as soon as I hit record. I need more horsepower. I scoured the marketplace and I found myself a deal. At least I feel like I found myself a deal. I found myself a 3700X. Yes, I know, it's only a 3700X. It's not wicked, it's not super cranking, not by today's standards. But compared to this thing, it's freaking wicked cranking. And I only paid like 150 Canadian for it, which is actually pretty good. After scouring around the internet a bit, I found that maybe if I want to go screwing around on the eBay, maybe I could get one for 160, 170, 180 shipped to my door, something like that. I saw prices between 130, 160, but you would also have to pay for shipping and then it would take time. I was hoping to do this earlier, do this weekend. It's Saturday night. I can still do it on Sunday if I get this done tonight. So 3700X goes in there, boom, significant upgrade. As you can see, I've already got like 4 sticks of HyperX. Originally, this thing as just a media box that I would surf the internet and stream television on. It had 8 gigs, just 2 of those sticks, but I put in another 2 sticks. In the workshop computer behind me, I actually had another 2 sticks of that same HyperX RAM, so I've quadded it up here to get 16 gigs. Actually, I found that, when I'm streaming HD content on one screen and I got multiple tabs open on another, I was starting to maybe max out 8 gigs. I think we're reaching a point in human history now, buds, in which 8 gigs is just not good enough for anything unless you're keeping it real simple stupid. This computer's been good on 8 gigs for a while. My other media boxes have been good on 8 gigs, but I'm only really one screen on them, not too active. Now these are matching, but non-matching. 2 are rated for 2400. The other 2, I think they might be 2133s or 2666. But they're all the same. These HyperX RAMs, they're all the same. They run at 1.2 volts, but if you bump them up to 1.35, I have it on good authority, they will just go to 3200 CL 16, 18, 18, 18, 36. I know because that's how I've been running them for years in both this system and over there with no problems. They'll just do 3200. Now with 4 sticks, I'm not trying yet to do that, but I was shopping on eBay the other day, and this week I'm expecting a set of HyperX Beasts, Furies, 16 gigs of RGB. That's going to be going in here. So either that's going to be a second video or an extension to this video when those finally came in, because I'm not going to be doing the whole testing process tonight. I'm just going to like throw this thing together and then I'm going to reconvene when I have more time to film. But let's cut to the chase here, shall we? Or you know, we're already chasing. 3200G, thermal take tubres, an EK PWM DDC with some sort of aftermarket top on it, hard tubing, mixture of bits, power, and EK fittings, and an Alpha Cool monster with no fans on it. This is one of my passively cooled builds. We just have this little APU, and then we just have passive radiation over this grossly oversized friggin' radiator, and it's been perfect like that until recently. You'll notice the fans aren't even spinning. That's because they don't kick on until certain temperature ranges hit a certain threshold inside the case. It's not even on the CPU. And then they'll just exhaust hot air out of the case. So the system does run maybe a little bit hot, but that's what I mean by until recently. We're having a bit of a heat wave up in Canada this summer. It's been like 30°C outside all month, which might not seem a lot to you Americans, especially down south, but to Canadians, that's like, wow, that's hot. I like it. I'm hot-blooded. I love hot. I love being warm. I'm like, just like, yay, I'm finally not freezing, which is weird coming from a Canadian. Right now, upstairs in my house, it's 27 degrees Celsius. That's like 80 to 82 Fahrenheit for you Americans. I'm stingy with the AC because the AC in this house sucks. It just all comes downstairs. It doesn't get cool upstairs, or it gets very slowly cooler. It takes hours to cool upstairs. And then by the time it's maybe starting to get comfortable downstairs, it's frickin' freezing downstairs. So all of a sudden I come downstairs to do editing, working, and I'm freezing. And it's like, no, sorry, bud. I'm not being freezing in the summer. No way, no how, period, end of story. So I've just been stingy with the AC. I've been having it let be 26, 27 upstairs. I just put a fan on, gentle breeze. I'm good. But this guy's not having a good time, especially with what I've been doing with it lately, running that CPU pinned. Oh boy, it's been getting angry. It's been stable, but it's been angry. Okay, let's shut this thing down and get hammering at it. Okay, so I think the first thing I gotta do is try to swing into the back here. Oh, it's got nice rubber feet. It doesn't move around that easily. I haven't been into the back of this thing in forever. I don't know what to expect back here. Oh, well, it's pretty simple. We have an EVGA 750, so we're already off to a good start there. Semi-modular. I do have a spare 1600 kicking over there if I really want to. We got a custom splitter for the fans. Oh, that's stuck in there real good. These fans are gonna get rotated around because one problem with this in-wind case is it has this ventilation, which is not good for actual air circulation, especially if you're blowing against it. It kind of sucks, but if you're sucking through it, okay, it's fine. So these are gonna become intake fans, so I gotta rotate them around. But really, I gotta empty all this crap out. And of course, I left my electric screwdriver upstairs. So the Alpha Cool monster has a slight advantage. If we're willing to take all these screws out, kind of don't have a choice. If we look in the arcer ender here, we're gonna notice there's this plug. That's gonna be our drain plug. Drain right out of the radiator. Because yeah, we gotta drain this pupper, right? Gotta get my hoists here. My computer hoists. Put this thing sideways. It's fairly light right now, but it's about to get heavier, I'm sure. Okay, yeah, that sits there reasonably well. Now, I do recall, these hoisters should be tall enough I can slip my oh, I thought I could slip my bucket under here. Well, we're not out of the woods yet. We still have a paddle. We still have a paddle for our creek. Turn these things sidewards. Okay, now we get in there. Now I gotta figure out how to get that plug off. It's kind of, did I put that on tight or am I getting my lefty-loosey wrong? Righty-tighty, that'd be that way. Lefty-loosey's gonna be this way. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, drain it out. Oh boy, gurgle, gurgle. That water's warm, bud. We should probably, crack something up here. Oh, gurgle, gurgle, indeed. There it goes. Flushing it right out. This particular computer is using my secret recipes of herbs and spices for the coolant, and it has been operating in here for at least 2 years continuously, so I'm guessing, oh boy, we'll take a look at that in a minute. I think I'm gonna have to make another video where we do some forensic research into this thing to see what kind of condition everything's in now. Maybe take the water block apart. Maybe that can help us diagnose any thermal issues we're having with my other computer. Okay, I think that's about as empty as that's getting. I think we can plug it up now, flip her back down normal, start taking her down from the top down. That means getting a plug back on radiator here. Oh, it's got a little bit more in it. You know, this is my nicest water cooling config. Damn shame to have to be ripping her down. It's so picturesque, the full hard tubing. Let's see what we got here for coolant. Maybe if anyone's smarter than me about water cooling's watching, look at this. It's black. It was clear going in. I don't think that's biomatter. Could it be rust? Corrosion? Small bits of corrosion over time? Or maybe just flushing water through this for so long, it's kind of like cleaned old goo out of the system. I don't know. I have never seen my special coolant come out of a computer like that in all the years I've been working with it. The only other computer that's been running as continuously as long with that coolant is the workshop system, which I'm due to redo. Like, I need to tear that thing down and give it some maintenance. Like, at least top off its water, but it's starting to run low. Hote, so maybe we do one of these to let water trickle out of the water block. That nice EK there. Oh boy. Come on now, be classy. Fittins for kittens. Okay. Oh, that's tight, bud. Ho. Okay, get some protection here. I will remove the fittings. I'll take some of the spare plugs I have, plug that up. No more worry about drip. You know, this thing has, one of the great things about the passive cooling and the fact those fans doesn't run, like, I haven't cleaned this thing since I built it probably. And just like, look how much dust is built up in here. Look at that. That's it. It stayed so clean. And like, this guy's at least, like, I've had this case since at least 2018 even. I bought this case in 2018. I don't remember when I put this build together. Either late 2018 or early 2019. First time I'm cracking the loop. It's been sealed with that same fill. Actually, no, you know, I have messed with it. When I got my D5 res, I have a tube res with a D5 bolted onto it. I think I put that D5 pump onto this tube to try and see how it would work, and it was actually louder than the DDC in this system. All right, that component is out secure. Now we do have a problem with the upper top here because it itself is still looking rather moist. There's water in this U-tube, but actually I don't think that's an issue because if we, oh boy, where is this wire going? Oh, it's just zip tied down, bud. It's all good. We should just be able to snap this whole assembly out of here now. Just like that. Paw, paw, paw. Okay, spillage or not. I know, we'll release it here. And I didn't cheat with this build. The only reason why we have a 90 here is because this is almost a whole length of tube. I didn't physically have a long enough piece of tube to go all the way. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Oh, okay. That's not the way I planned it. Modular. Let's rip this all apart. All right, well, no, we're not done yet. We still need to get the rad out. But we can start more flexibly manipulating on this thing now. We don't really have to worry about wet works anymore. Ever just get sabotaged by Beastie Boys stuck in your head? I can't stand it, but I know you planned it. Okay, I need to get my proper screwdriver. Well, I think this might be nut and bolt. Yeah. This whole resi system was only held on by 2 little screws because these guys were just kind of bolted up with 1 screw each. But that's all we needed. See that just slapped down? It's not the kind of build that probably would have survived aggressive shipping. That'll get in the way for now. All right, what do we got down here? Unos, dos. These are freaking tiny little screws, bud. Where did I even come up with something like this? I can't remember any more of those numbers. Frickin' beast. It's like that rad, I think, could do a nice dent of cooling if I wanted to water cool this system, but where would I put it? Like, look, this was a full-size board, and this rad took up so much room here that, you know, I wouldn't even properly be able to get a video card in here and get fans on this thing. I'd maybe have to put it here, but then it's so thick, like there's no room for a res anymore. So that's the thing. I think if I end up water cooling this build, I'm not even going to be using this case anymore. Now, fortunately, this layout that I have, I could put like a slightly different board in here. And as long as this is in roughly the same spot, it's going to be fine. It's going to work. That whole kit will fit right in there. So that's a saving grace here. So we can repurpose this case for a media box build somewhere else. Now, part of the tease is I have a water-cooled, ready-to-go Vega 64 sitting right here, which would have fit into that little crevice, but again, couldn't get fans in there. But it's okay because I come from an era of PC video game history where we used to say, why have 1 video card when you can have 2? I do have an Asus Strix that I put the air cooler back on, and that's what's gonna go in here. 750 watts should be enough, and that should actually match decently well with the 3700X. Like, I'm not gonna be doing like hardcore FPSs on this computer. If I play those games, I'm gonna come downstairs to my good system, to my ultra wide screen, to my mouse and my keyboard. I'm looking for more mellow, kick it back, indie titles, kind of like old platform games. I wouldn't mind certain, you know, mellow RPG RPGs. I wonder if some of those turn-based RPGs, like I don't know, Star Rail or something, could be played well with a controller on a mellower system. Emulators, you know, stuff like that. Just need a bit more horsepower. Why is this popped off of there? What is this RGB connector for? I think it goes here. Oh, it's for this. I have analog RGB across the front. So, okay, so for cooling, what are we doing here? Strapped to this old motherboard is a Cooler Master Hyper 212, which should be good enough to get this job done. Oh yeah, my TV upstairs is only 720p too. I don't think I need that much horsepower to do that. This is an old Phenom 2 X4 940. I've made videos about it before. And that's like, what, 4 gigs of Corsair? Yeah, it's just been kind of sitting out for like years now. I did that video project late 2020 and I still haven't packed it away. This 212 came with my 1700X back in the day. So I'm pretty sure it can handle a 3700X because the TDP didn't increase that much. I think the 2700X ran hotter, but then the 3700X brought things back down. I'm not gonna use that fan. I'm gonna use this fan for reasons. Same here. Wait, where's that going flying? Let's remove this. Where's the wires for this guy? Oh, of course I turbo tucked on them, right? They're going to this bus that I have up here. The far side of it. That's super weird. I'm pretty sure this is on Velcro. Yep. Or no, I just ripped the stickiness off. That's fine, I'll unstick it back on. Okay, what did I do here? Oh, it's seriously jammed under the motherboard. It's like right up about here I have screw, and it looks like I routed this underneath the screw, which is a clever idea until you need to remove it, bud. Well, looks like we're getting lucky. Hey, you know what? These are the DC fans. I think I have more of these. I think I could deck this thing out. Ugh, I got salty sweat in my eye. Come on, bud, relax. Okay, now I want to reverse these fans. I want to turn them into intakes. I'm going with a positive pressure built. That is where you have more intake than exhaust, which is not a bad idea because it prevents dust from building up in nooks and crannies. The dust ends up getting kind of relegated to the assigned areas. The only problem is we don't really have a dust filter here. I guess we can improvise something, especially if this sets up the way I think it's gonna set up. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should make those exhausts. Do I seriously have more of these fans? I have a second one that's also DC. I have 3 different variations of what look like the same fan in stock. Okay, let's get our tester active. So this is one of the fans that was in the case already. So I'm judging how much airflow it has. They're mellower flans. So we see we're running at 12 volts. It says 023 amps, but it's only giving me 0.77. So let's set that aside. I know all these are identical. Let's get this other one that I have. Okay, this one's about the same. Yeah, a little bit more. Okay, cool. I have at least one more, but there's more. I have so many of these fans. A buddy of mine bought like bulk packs of them on Amazon and then decided he didn't like them. So I got 3 more right here. And they're all freaking DC, so I can't even proper use them with PWM, which is the reason why they're not in such active rotation. Good. We have another one that's the same. Well, that's quota now, bud. Let's just check these other 2 to see what they're like. This one's been manipulated on, so if we can find another one in this range, we'll not use that one. Yep, there we go. I swear there was at least one of these fans that RPM ripped harder than the others. Actually, the coloration's a bit different. Okay, well, that's super weird, bud, but it means I'm re-strategizing. I'm gonna leave these as wannabe exhaust fans. Clearly, this position is not qualified to do that, but... So we have 3 fan positions across the bottom here, where we have the filter. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill them up with these fans on intake configuration. And then they're gonna blow a nice breeze up to the video card. The only problem is I need to find enough frickin' screws. Well, I know I have more around. So I guess we gotta get all these friggers wired up. They all need to go upwards to that controller. I'm not getting super primped with the cable management here. I'm more in a get her done mood. Plus I got so many freaking cables coming up this way now. It's kind of like, well, what could you do, bud? You just have all these freaking fan cables. Just tuck her down and like pretend they don't exist, right? We can maybe stick a little twist tie just to uniform them here. So now the lighting controller is quite expansive, except we got a spaghetti situation here. Okay, these are the down fans. Let's get them up and out here. These are the side fans. This cable I pulled out is the input. So this was a PWM pass-through, but I modified it to be DC. So it has power feeding in to run the lighting controller, and then all the fans, they feed off this actual connection. So we're gonna have one header on the board running 5 fans, but at, you know, 70 milliamps each, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be okay. I think this motherboard has like a higher current fan header designed for pumps. So worst case scenario, we can just use that. But it's kind of nice that they came with such a big freaking fan header bud. Now the question is, do we have enough slack to get her back into its, back into its nook? And then that's all we really have to worry about back here. Oh, I'm gonna need some I'm gonna need some PCI Express bud. Fortunately, I have big bags of EVGA. Here's a set right here. It says GQ on it, same as this one. I need to shed some light on this situation. Hell, these cables probably came with this power supply, bud. Okay, so we will do real quick. I'm gonna disconnect this here. I gotta put my tester fire upper on there. I'm gonna disconnect the CPU so the motherboard doesn't get any power. Frickin' hell, why is he so stuck? Gonna plug it in, gonna switch it on, gonna test the output to make sure it's all right. So I'm not gonna bother with screen capture. You can use your imagination. I've done this before. Gotta wait for Firefox to update because fuck you, right? So just to make sure this is compatible, I'm testing this, making sure I'm getting the right output. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, we're good. All right, so moving right along. I have here 2 matching fans that I have it on good authority. They have the correct RPM to be a CPU fan. We need this to like freaking slap tight in here. Oh, I can't get that, or no, maybe I think I got it. It's pushing down on this plastic shroud a bit. No, it will be okay. It's just not gonna be as ergonomic a wire run. So on these higher end motherboards, they have 2 connectors for CPU fan. They have CPU and CPU opt. Which one's which here? The second one's opt. I'm plugging this main exhaust fan on opt. Now, let us finally remove this water block. I'm saying I don't remember these screws being captive. They're not. It came off that part. And I dropped 2 of the freaking little roundy bits that are supposed to not be. They're supposed to be with this thing. Or, you know what I'm talking about. The roundy bits, bud. The roundy bits. What else? One of them's right there now. Where art thou the other? It fell down there even deeper. Aren't you just wonderful? That means we gotta take the heat sinks off. That means we get to remember what size finger we have under here. I have a 512 or a 500 gig SSD available for this project later. It's on standby for the migration of my main rig upgrade that I plan on doing soon. Meantime, what do I have in here? A 256 gig Western Digital. That's good. I can go far with that. That's fine. Okay, the roundy bit is not in here. We salvaged 1 roundy bit. We're missing 1 more. That is like, is that my first gen? Is that a Gen 1? Yeah, that's a Gen 1 WD SSD. That's when they first started making NVMe SSDs, and they were actually competitive with the Samsung like 960s at the time. Not the Pros, but the Evos. Oh, great. Now I gotta kind of remember which screw goes where. Okay, well, hopefully there's not a roundy bit under here. Probably just fell down here somewhere. So we can get this back plugged in. Thermal Goos on here. Still looks moist. Okay, I was just about to mount the air cooler, forgetting that I'm swapping this pupper out. Hey, frickin' Thermal Goos stuck to my corner of my shit. There's still thermal goo on the corners of this thing. Get the frick, bud. Get the frick before you damage me a pin. Little 32 hundo. I'll just store temporarily the 13 hundo in this 37 hundo box. So now we gotta get this thing prefabricated on there. I believe this version, where's the plate that fell out by? Well, freaking honk eye my star rail. What, did it just disappear into the void? Ah, there it is. Okay, so this version, these just, no they don't. There's something else that I'm missing. Oh yeah, they're still on this motherboard. Now this backplate de fromage is just gonna be hanging loose. All right, gotta get these on here. Wait, why is it not going back on? There it goes. Wait, do these, they do, the little circly bits. But those go with that water block. Okay, so I've got 3 possible thermal schmoos here that are worth looking into. Like my custom RGB drops. So I got this Thermal Grizzly that I feel is sketched out. I've got Noctua, which I'm also worried is sketched out now. Should just stick with Arctic Silver. That stuff never dried up on me. Oh, that stuff still looks pasty actually. And then I have this Arctic MX4 that I bought and like literally haven't used for anything. Oh, that still looks good stuff right there, bud. I think I'm gonna try that this time. So if I go here and start stomping this down, yeah, that's nice and gooey. Yeah, actually, that's spreading right nice. But what about the Grizzy? The Grizzy is just like, the Grizzy's just broken, bud. My Grizzy is just straight up expired. That is disappointing. Like, look at that, it just fell in there. Oh, it schmooed down in the hole. It's like putty. Yeah, I'm not trusting on that. It's sticking to everything but the surface that I want to cool. Gotta stick with the Noctua. And to do this nice, I think we need to layer down. Noctua! Nice pea size. Cooler Maester. See, this thing was for AM4. Oh, come on, seriously? Why did this get all over my finger like that? That's what the Thermal Grizzly's doing. It's sticking to everything. Look at that. It's like, it's everywhere. Okay, this was AM4 compatible, but I modded it so that it would be compatible with AM2. And I just dipped it in the Thermal Goo trying to size it up. And because there was a hole there, it's really friggin' in there now. And I'm getting it all over the place. I'm spreading it around instead of wiping it up. Now I don't even remember which way this orients now. Like that, I think. Ay caramba. Ooh, shmoo it, shmoo you. Oh, one of the wonderful thing about the hypers, I can kind of do one of these. Let's snug her up, bud. It's not the tightest fit in the world, but it should do. Like, it has a good reputation. It hasn't failed me before. And I just found the other rounder bit. Okay. Oh boy. You're not gonna tell me that this thing's too taut. You're not telling me that. You're kidding me. You're not serious, bud. Holy frick, the 212's too tall for this case. What kind of frickin' farted. Oh, hold on. Oh, I just forgot to pull back the locks. It just clears. Okay, so let's get the CPU fan on. If I can remember how to do this, is a bit of a loosey-goose. All right, hopefully we can slop that on there and it'll clear the RAM. Come on, bud. Yeah, there we go. Now, see, this is the effect that I'm going for. We got two identical fans, one there and one there. One's on CPU, one's on CPU opt. They're gonna synchronize perfectly so that there's gonna be this even flow of air, right? These are both gonna be on CPU. So like, I might set these to turn off if like there's not much going on the computer. Like if I'm just idle ripping some video, some television, let's not have it suck in dust. So, our video card. What's funny is at this point, I'm pretty much duplicating my gaming build from a couple years ago. I think I got my Vega 64 when I still had my 2700X, and then I got a 3800X. Actually, did I sell my 1700 when I got my Vegas? But at some point I had a 3800X with, did I have two Vega 64s by then? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure when I first played Fallout 4, I still had a pair of R9 290Xs with, I believe, the 1700X. And then I think I got this card while I was still playing Fallout 4. So for an air-cooled build, this case gonna have enough flow. 5 case fans, and boom. For water cool, not so much. And would you look at that, I'm getting Thermal Goo all over the frickin' place, bud. It reminds me of this one time when I was a child. I was really, really young. I was riding around in the car with my mom and my dog was sick and it was shitting everywhere, and like just shit was getting all over the car. I was like trying not to like touch it, but I just kept, oh geez. Look at that. I got it on the frickin' bike stand too here. Where is this frickin' pissing me off, bud? Where is it? Okay, now we just have to get power to that video card, which I don't think is gonna happen with the link that I have here. What the? Oh, more! I'm gonna like keep finding goo stains on this case for like the next week, next year even. Okay, I like to bring my PCI Express in from the top of the card. I got this cable's the wrong way around. Why are they being this way? Vega 64 wants 2 8-pins, just like that. And then, yeah, just like that. Now I'll just button this up kinda. I'm not gonna go all out because it's just like whatever. Man, these kababblies are not cooperating. What is this PWM line here? Oh, fan controller that's not actually using them. So yeah, I never really put as much work into cable managing my own computers as I would have paid gig because like, I'm not getting paid to do this. I don't care that much. We're good. Will it post? I don't know, it should. I don't see why not. Everything here's kosher now. We're done for now. I gotta take this party upstairs, fire it up, update the drivers. Oh, I gotta chuck the capture back in here. Where'd I put it? Capture card. Guess I could slip this in while I'm waiting. Oh, it's hiding. There's a 1X port right here, so I don't have to butt it right up against the card. We'll get full 8X support here. I should probably put these back into place, all these little covers. Okay. And that is good for today. I'll be back when I get the RAM, and then I'm gonna tune up on this system a bit. And I'm gonna be cleaning schmoo off of it. Okay.